Okay, in the previous video, if I want to get a general idea on what the rows look like, or I should say the collections, a document in a collection, what I did is I did a DB, which stands for the database that you're in, collection, which is the equivalent of a table in standard SQL, and find one just means return me one document to see what it basically looks like. So again, what's going on here, I have an ID, I have a customer ID, I have invoice, I have products, which is an array of objects. I then have a summary here indicating that this is when I bought the item. I purchased it. I purchased 3 of them. I spent about $803, and this is what I bought. Okay, so this is the first thing I do usually when I'm in a job, so I know the exact look and feel of the database, or I should say the collection. So based on this data, what I want to do is I want to run a couple of queries on type of things that you might look for. Okay, so one of the things that I'm going to do here is I'm going to search for, let's say, search for something that, maybe search for products that were bought in New York. So that means I have to use this field. So the way that might look is I might type in DB, product, sold. I'll do a find. And remember here, there's 2 parameters. One that this is what you're going to project. This is kind of like my where clause. And I'm going to say here, I'm going after the state field. And because there's a hierarchy involved, I have to put it in quotes. I have to say state.code, because I'm going to the state, and then I'm going after the code. Colon for assignment statement, and I'm going to look for NY for New York. Hit enter, and I get all this data. By default, it returns 20 at a time. Of course, this data looks very ugly, so just like in class, what we're going to do is we're going to make it pretty. So this is us returning 20 rows here. So sometimes I don't need all the information, so I'm hitting the up key to repeat that. And in this next set of parameters, these are the fields that I want to show. So for example, let's say I want to show maybe just the invoice. So I'll say invoice here, and I'll set it to 1 to turn it on. And I will also show, let me see, how many things that we bought. So I'm going to say here, I'm going to go down the summary field. I'm putting this in quotes because I want the summary and I want the count. And I'm saying turn that on. So summary is different because summary values an object, and for me to get to this object I have to say summary dot count, and of course I'm turning that on. If I hit enter, notice I'm getting the ID, I'm getting the total, I'm getting the invoice, and I'm getting the summary count. So if you remember from class, I think I mentioned this, that the ID is always shown by default. Okay, so in fact, let me get rid of the pretty. I don't need the pretty because it's not that much data. Okay, so notice that the ID is here. The ID is the only field that you have to explicitly turn off if you don't want it. So I'm going to say ID here is equal to 0. Again, it didn't matter the position. I just like having it first. Hit enter, and now I'm showing the data here. Okay. Now this might be more meaningful to me because maybe I'm interested in a very popular product. Like what product is, what transactions have the most sold, which is basically the count. So maybe I'll look for a count, and I'm going to say here, this is a different type of query. I'm going to say, I'm looking for New York. In fact, I should put that in the display also. So maybe we'll say here, comma, state is equal to, you can also use a Boolean for true, and that also returns it like that. Okay. I'm hitting the up key to repeat the last command. So let's say I'm not interested in just New York. I'm interested in everything. But I'm interested in the counts that are greater than, let's say, 20. Now, if you remember, I'm going to bring this into Notepad so you can see the hierarchy. I always have to say summary dot to get to the count. So summary dot count. So I'm going to say here where, because I need the dot operator, I need quotes summary dot count colon. This syntax is a little weird the first time I saw it, so I usually space it out. And you want to put in 2 curly brackets right away. And I'm going to say here $GT, which stands for greater than colon 20. So this means I'm looking for items greater than 20. I'm not sure if I said 20 or 25, but for now let's just make it 20. If I hit enter, I should see only items greater than 20. There it goes. So these are items greater than 20. So that's us playing around with queries and stuff like that. So with that, good luck and good coding, and we'll keep playing.